Blessed good night. Welcome to our midweek service and Bible study. We're going to begin tonight's service by standing and singing together number 113 from the Sankey. Blessed be the fountain of blood to a world of sinners revealed. Blessed be the dear Son of God, only by his stripes we are healed. Though I wander far from his fold, bringing to my heart pain and woe, wash me in the blood of the Lamb, and I shall be worthy as snow. power, and the glory, forever and ever. Please remain standing for the lesson, which is taken from St. Luke chapter 24, and we're going to read from verse 38 to the end. St. Luke chapter 24, reading from verse 38 to the end. Now we will read alternately. Here begin. And he said unto them, why are you troubled? And why do thoughts arise in your hearts? And when he had thus spoken, he showed them his hands and his feet.
And what they yet not believe but wondered, he said unto them, have ye here any meat?
And they gave him a piece of wild fish and of an honeycomb.
And he took it and did eat before them.
And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you, while I was yet with you. And all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me.
Then opened he their understanding, that they might understand the scriptures.
And said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behoved Christ to suffer, and to rise from the dead the third day.
That repentance and remission of sins should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem.
And ye are witnesses of these things.
And behold, I send the promise of my Father upon you, but tarry ye in the city of Jerusalem until ye endure the power from on high.
And he led them out as far as to Bethany. And he lifted up his hands and blessed them.
And it came to pass when he blessed them, he departed from them and carried up into heaven.
And they worshipped him, and returned to Jerusalem with great joy, and were continually in the temple, praising and blessing God. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. It's now time for offering, and as we collect tonight's offering, we will sing number 1082 from Sandy. There's a call comes ringing o'er the restless wind. Send the light, send the light. There are souls to rescue, there are souls to save. Send the light. Send the light, the blessed gospel light. Let it shine from shore to shore. Send the light, the blessed gospel light. Let it shine forevermore.
Yeah. give you thanks and praise for spirit kept and preserved, Lord. Lord, we thank you for waking us up this morning. You set us on our way, Lord. The job you create, Lord. The ways and the means, Lord, that we put in your will for us, Lord, that we can give back our offering to you tonight. I pray, Lord, your blessings upon us. In the precious name of Jesus.
Amen. Thank you for your gifts. You may be seated. Please listen attentively to the notices. Tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. will be senior prayer practice. Senior prayer practice tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. On Friday evening, the youth will meet for their service at 7:30 p.m. Friday evening youth service, 7:30 p.m. The youth are also invited on Saturday to the St. Michael's School for the annual empowerment service that is hosted by the Youth and Family Empowerment Center, and that event will start at 4 p.m. at the St. Michael's School. Some upcoming notices. On the 15th of this month, we have two harvests. That will be to Bethany Evangelical Church, that starts at 3:30, and then Victory Pentecostal Church, and that one starts at 3 p.m. And we are asked to carry an item to Victory Pentecostal. So that is just the upcoming notices. Also remember that our annual excursion comes off on the 13th of April. That is Easter Monday bank holiday. We invite you to come out and participate in this fellowship. And tickets are available. Children under 12 are $15 and adults are $20. So please get your tickets from any of the members of the Center School, and they are available. So please keep those notices in mind. Thank you for listening, and I return the service into the hands of our Pastor Carl Barker, who will be heading the Bible study.
Very good night to you. We're in Luke chapter 2. Got a little closer from there. Simeon and the joy that Simeon had just because he was able to see the Christ child. And one of the things that we mentioned earlier is that when Jesus came, there seemed to be not a priest, not a Levite, nobody of any religious standing that was able to witness the birth. He went to the shepherds on the hillside, there where he was at Paul, the wise men from Persia, and now in the temple there are two seemingly insignificant men. Well, no, I should say an insignificant man and a woman. And these are the ones who recognize the child, the Christ child, while all the other religious persons were busy in their temple and doing what? Sometimes they ask the question if Jesus were to walk through Barbados today, we would recognize him. Bobby would have spoken of Simeon. And now let's read a little bit about Anna. Verse 36. And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She was of great age and had lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity, and she was a widow of 84 years. Now anybody can guess how old Anna would be? More than 84. Don't forget, watch the thing. She had lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity. It was taken for granted that when young ladies married at that time that they were virgins. So when she married, she lived 7 years with her husband, and then she had 84. It's more than 91 because she married. Or let's say she married at 16, which is probably around the time of that. And she spent 7 years with her husband. That left her at 23. And then you have to add 84 to the 23. That's 107. So she could be over 107. Right? If she married even a little later in her 20s, which would have been unusual at that time, she was well over 100 years old. Everybody agree? Hello? I didn't hear. Did not say what? No, I didn't say how old she was. They said that we would take a guess how old she was. We didn't try to tie down a date. She's more than 87. She's more than 91 because she.
Minimum 12 years old. So if you take 87 and 12,
Yeah, but don't forget she lived with her husband for 7 years. Right, that means after she married him.
You took her virginity at the minimum 12 years old.
But no. The 7 years when the virginity speaks of the time she was married.
Right.
So let's say, nobody don't marry at 12. God.
And then after,
Let's say 16.
after the marriage, she lived 80 years.
84.
84 and 7 is what?
91. And
And
then
if she virginity was at 12, I am minimizing the time. I am minimizing the time.
Minimum is going to say minimum.
Minimum. If she married at 12, therefore, she's over 100 years old.
she ain't married. Anybody not married at 12 years.
I didn't say that. I said minimize the time.
But we agree that she had to be over 100 years old. Right? It's just for academic interest, but it's just for academic interest. But as I said, you start by getting the minimum age for marriage, and let's say if you put that at 16.
So you're saying that when she got married, let's say for argument's sake, she got married at 7.
All right.
And she lived with her husband
7 years.
7 years.
24.
She was still a virgin.
No. From her virginity.
From her.
7 years after she married him.
They had her 7 years.
Pardon?
She spent 7 years, but she had him. Husband only stayed 7 years with her.
And he died.
And he died.
And she was a
She was
widow
married
for,
7 years.
and she was a widow of 80. Hello?
That's not how you understand.
Early virginity is part of it.
Wait. Hold a minute. Don't let's get confused.
All I want to explain is what the 7 years for her virginity means.
It was, all right, let's listen. It was taken for granted that when a young girl married, she was a virgin. So that is when you talk about 7 years from her virginity, 7 years after she married. It was obvious that after she married, she won't be a virgin anymore. So whatever age she was, if you say 17, she lived with her husband for 7 years after 17, right? And then she was a widow of 84 years. Logical? She was old. Very old. But how did she spend her time? The young people were so boring. You know that? If we ask how to spend your time, the young people were so boring. Spend time in the temple. And she served God. She departed not from the temple, but served God with fasting and prayers night and day. The Bible doesn't say she had any children. The husband dead. So she dedicates her life to serving God in the temple. Boring life, no? So she served God with fasting and prayer night and day. And she coming, verse 28, in that instant, gave thanks likewise unto the Lord, and spake of him to all men that looked for redemption in Jerusalem. That was 38. So, again, we see rewarded people who have time for God. God normally has time for them. And she gave her time to God, and she saw a sight that was a beautiful sight. She saw the Christ child in his infancy, recognized who he was, and knew at that time that Israel had been, I can't say redeemed, I would have to say Israel had the door open, an open door which no man could shut. She saw that. So here are two people, two old people, who have lived their lives for one purpose, and that purpose was to see what we call the consolation of Israel, because a lot of people had given up. Just as today people have given up. God say, come back every saint and we ain't see anything yet, and they have given up. Those persons had given up. A lot of persons out there had given up. But these persons were looking, and because they were looking, they were in the right place, looking for the right thing. God rewarded them. So, it is good, you know, maybe the time may live at the church. So.
There's another point. There's another point that is something other important. And that's not in here. That sometimes women don't see as important. She was what? She was 80 something years old. The husband died, right?
No, she would have been in her 20s probably when the husband died.
Huh?
She was in her 20s. She
The
died
husband
very
died?
young. The husband died when she was very young.
She only married for 7 years.
And she was did she spend her time in temple all of that time?
Yes, the 87 years.
Oh, okay, I understand now. Okay. So my point is this. In today's world, don't believe that their life can only be fulfilled if they're married or there's a man in their life. The little bit she spent her life and from at what age?
Well, she had a good life, a good 7 years. And then she decided, she probably decided that she would not marry again, but that was her choice. And she didn't lose up by it. You know, nobody who spends and gives time to God loses. I think that's the point we got to take out of that. Nobody who gives time to God loses out for it. And that is why I am saddened when I see that person have to give up the service of God to do so many of their own things. It's always as though God, you had enough. You know, I have to go and get my career started. I have to get my marriage started. I gotta get most things started, and then I can come to you. But these persons show us that we can gain by serving God and giving Him our time. So in verse 39, when they had performed all these things according to the law of the Lord, they returned into Galilee to their own city Nazareth. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. And for those who weren't here earlier, those who might have forgotten, they took the child to the temple because it was prescribed in the law that every child who opens the womb, that means that every child that was firstborn would be offered to the Lord.
I just like to draw off one point. I know it's going to be resolved. I know clearly studying the scriptures. I know clearly was very versed on the scriptures. Because it was only by knowing the scriptures that you could recognize each other. In short, Anna didn't just pray and fast. She clearly studied what was written. So that then Mary and Joseph brought in each other, she could recognize each other. There was something she knew that said to her, this is that child, because clearly she was there for all the rest.
But I believe it was, apart from what you said, that there was also a revelation from God, because, I mean, I look at babies every day, here all day long, sometimes, all of them look the same to me. It's only when they start to get 2 years and then I begin to recognize the names and what happened. But at that age, all of them look the same thing. You know, it's like telling me a child that a person I should know, but I mean, all the children look the same way at that age.
But in verse 26 it says that the Holy Ghost revealed it unto him, so it was not limited.
That was not, no, that was Simeon, right?
With Simeon.
Right. No, it was revealed unto him by the Holy Ghost that he should not see death
okay.
before he had seen the Lord's face. Right. And he came by the Spirit into the temple, that's verse 27. And when the parents brought the intelligence for him after the custom of law, then took the in his arms and blessed him. A lot of funny things happened that day though. He went into the temple that day, the Holy Spirit impressed upon him to go to the temple that day. And then, anybody here, whoever had children, you would give somebody a day-old child. The what? But at 8 days, you don't even want your father to touch the child. You know, Brother Sarah. At 8 days old, you know, as a matter of fact, in the very early days, at 8 days old, the woman come get the woman sit inside the house, and every knock was that to make sure sure that she don't get along in court. Like in court. But so I'm saying that it is interesting that a woman has a 8-day-old baby and a stranger come across and take it. But I guess by then Mary was so accustomed to all sorts of things happening that she was also in. And God had to reveal to her too that I believe that, there's something special about this man. This is the child this man was waiting for. So I believe that the Holy Spirit was at work, not only in Simeon, but also in Anna. And I mean, two things could have happened. The Holy Spirit could have revealed it to Anna, or Anna could have seen and heard what Simeon was saying. It's also possible. Because
you think they know what to do, so they go.
Huh?
You think they know what to do? So
No.
the Holy Spirit go and think.
But,
Something inside you that you know how to do this thing. You can't do this thing yourself.
so when they have performed all the things according to the law of the Lord, they return to Galilee, to their city, to their own city Nazareth. And the child grew and waxed strong, and the Spirit filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. So we have a special child growing and waxing strong in the Spirit, filled with wisdom. It's something that,
Okay, good.
yeah, it's something that is interesting here. Jesus came as a child. We say he's fully God and fully man. How come he's getting stronger in the Spirit and being filled with wisdom? You understand what I'm saying? Huh?
He's a man. There's a human element to him. A human being born with supernatural powers.
And also, who is he getting this from? Who is he getting all this wisdom from?
Can I hear you?
And also, who is he getting all this wisdom from?
From?
Yeah. I mean, it's not.
From God.
He's going to generate.
But don't forget, if you go back to the baptism, when he was in the water, the Holy Spirit came and light on him like a dove. And while he was in the water, what happened from heaven? There was a voice from heaven saying,
This
"This is my beloved Son in whom I'm well pleased." So it bears out a little bit about the mystery of Christ, in that we say he's fully God and fully man, yet he grew as a man. He wasn't born 6 feet tall, if he ever got, I don't know how tall he was, but he wasn't born 6 feet tall. He was born as a baby. And at 8 years old, he was carried into the temple. We know that when Elizabeth met Mary, that the babe left in her womb, because John at that time would have recognized, don't ask me how, that this is the Redeemer that I'm feeling close to me. So again, I mean, this is nothing new. If you go back in the Old Testament, was it he saw Jacob in the womb fighting? And somebody holding one holding the other one by the heel.
He saw.
I'm a 20.
First.
Jacob had Esau.
Yeah.
But that was not nothing normal.
It's not normal.
We had two nations.
Yeah.
Jesus was, it's a mystery, so it will always sound funny. But Jesus was a man, fully man. But yet he was fully God, so that he was able to experience pain and disappointment. When the disciples fled, Jesus would have been disappointed. This would have been disappointed, and he would have felt it as a human being when somebody that is close to you leaves you. Right? So in that regard, in that respect, Jesus was fully man. but he was also fully God.
In the Garden of Gethsemane.
It was impossible for Jesus to sin or go against God's will because he was also fully God. He was God. So he was God and yet he was man. So Jesus' praying was not to keep him from sinning or anything. Because he was already fully God. And a lot of things that Jesus did, he did as an example. Because Jesus did not have to fast for him, except it was customary for prophets and so on to do that. Right? But in one respect, he was fully man. And in the other, he was fully God.
But being fully man would be the only way that he could appreciate being a man. Or what may be true. Not from the perspective, okay, you're a man. You can't appreciate what women go through actually worth from the perspective of being a man. But the only way that you can appreciate what women go through from the perspective of being a woman is if you become a woman.
And don't forget, God could not die for mankind. It had to be a man.
Exactly. It had to be a man.
I mean, you could stop at saying God could not die for himself, but the sacrifice had to be
The
a
human sacrifice.
human sacrifice. So that is what. But as I said, don't expect me to be able to explain this thing 100%.
The
Because
sacrifice also had to be perfect.
you have
And
sacrifice
there was no man
had to
that
be
was
perfect.
You couldn't otherwise get a perfect man.
And still have Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, if it be possible, let this come
But
from.
this symbol, you say that he was tempted, according to Peter, in all points as we are, yet without sin. So there's a reason why, and there was a reason why he had come as man.
That's correct, because as I said, it took a human being to die for mankind. Because God doesn't have blood as we have it. And according to the sacrifices, the pouring out of the blood was the important part of the sacrifice. And by his blood being poured out, that was what brought about the redemption. And not that we worship the blood nowadays, Lord.
And not only that, without the blood, the sacrifice could not be placed.
So see,
Go ahead.
a simple verse to help prepare for that. But then Jesus Christ asked the question to Peter, in fact, to his disciples, who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? Not the word. Jesus Christ called himself the Son of Man. Peter, in his answer, said, Lord, the Christ, the Son of the living God. So you have in one instance, Jesus Christ is both fully God and yet fully man, because he could not have redeemed man unless he became man. Now we hold on,
All right, some interesting points there with the composition of Jesus, which one of these days we'll sit down and we'll talk about it in heaven, and Jesus will tell us how it could be done. But as I said, we know it is, we know what it is, but to be able to explain and to feel and to experience it is not easy.
I look at the book of Ecclesiastes, and at the end of it, the conclusion is that if you consider everything, you will do nothing. That is what conclusion. If you consider all the things can go wrong, all the faults we can find ourselves into. If you consider all these things, you will say, well, I ain't getting one for forgetting it. Done. And it's also the important point in the whole episode that the wise people of earth paid far much more attention to the spiritual upbringing of their children than we do in this present age. Because the Jewish custom was that a male could not become a part of the synagogue until he was age of 13. But Jesus Christ went there with 12, what he called it preparation. So in other words, they took the spiritual upbringing of their children very, very serious. And I wish that we could get back to those days
Nowadays we are proud to say, oh, Barbados is a secular society, nothing
Yeah.
foolishness.
When they got Jesus, what was more agonizing for Jesus was the fact that he knew what would become of him. He could see the future. He knew that Judas would betray him. He knew that he would deny him. Right? And he can see all of these things. That to me that was more agonizing.
Yeah, well, we want to be able to prophesy everything that happened. I don't want to say.
As Stephen just said, right? One of the things that will come in the next couple of verses that are important to me is the role the parents play.
All right, we can get to that right now. So, note that between verse 38 and 41, there's a 12-year jump. You see what I'm talking about? In verse 38, he's in the temple at 8 years old. And by verse 41, he's 12 years old. So, all we know that happened in that time is that he grew up in Nazareth, and we are told he grew and he got strong in the spirit, filled with vision, and the grace of God was upon him. So his parents went up to Jerusalem every year to the feast of the Passover, verse 41. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. What was the feast of the Passover again? What was commemorating the feast of the Passover? What were they commemorating? But we everybody whispering, somebody talking. Hello? I can't understand. Spring the Passover. You remember the song when they see the blood of the Passover here? Right, but you wouldn't tell me. You kept whispering. The feast of the Passover commemorated the time when the Israelites were in Egypt and they were told to put the blood on the doorpost of the last slave, and when the death angel passed by, all of the firstborn of the Egyptians were slain, and all those who had the blood on the doorpost were saved. So when they went up, this will be years after, they went up, still remembering the time of the Passover. And this Passover now is about to come to its conclusion, because just as that angel passed over, when he recognized that there was blood, he skipped that house. Now, the parallel in the New Testament is when the death angel realizes that the blood of Christ, the sacrifice of Christ has been sprinkled on you, so to speak, the blood of Christ, then that is the real Passover. So the ones that the Israelites went through was the shadow, I would say. I mean, it served its purpose, but no, because Christ has shed his blood for us, that means that we are. And the thing about it is, one of the things that I ask, you think that all the Israelites were holy people? But look at the trouble they gave Moses. They didn't really get out of Egypt properly before they Moses back. So it means that there were a lot of people in there who were miserable and all sorts of things. But all they did to be saved is an interesting point. All they did to be saved is they heard Moses and they put some blood on the doorpost. And some of them, I don't know, the Bible doesn't speak of it, so I can't. But I feel that there might be one or two who say, well, that's foolishness.
The angel was not
Just the blood.
He was just looking for the blood.
And the beautiful thing is that every year, a poor lad has a goal. That is your thing, your second point is very low for salvation. Once, and we say that's a once for all. And today, there's still people who are trying to do everything other than what Jesus Christ said to do. Oh, that is Moses.
Yes, Steve, I know you're going there now.
Where? You know what Moses?
Oh, sorry.
Where? Moses, all the people were stung by those fiery serpents. And God was going to get rid of the cross and everything, and all look. And you find it, you only have to look on it. And that was it.
Well, you know, I'm surprised they have some people that take off the door, horse and car from Egypt. Carried from Egypt and carried out to the wilderness. Because, but it isn't, look, it is a matter of understanding. I have said to people that only people who recognize something about computing would understand what I'm talking about. When I was working long time ago, and we had a project which was bringing all the government departments together, right? We were working at different departments. So when we work in Treasury, and the people who were putting something, and they put in a document, and then got in cars and drove down to Central Purchasing number he had to see if it was down there. Now, that seemed quite logical to them at the time. But what they did not recognize is that there was one server. If you got a trade, you put in a transaction, it happens on that server. If you go down there, so it's a matter of understanding lack of understanding makes you do a lot of things that might seem logical to you, but are not really logical. So it is, the brazen serpent, the people saw salvation in the serpent. They didn't see salvation in obedience to Christ. So that's why some of them wanted to worship the serpent. But the only thing, as we said, the only thing that the angels saw was that blood on the doorpost. That was the criteria. The person that there could be wicked, some of them people there be Moses. Yeah. There's some of them people there be Moses in the wilderness. From the time he at the Red Sea, the preacher talk about murmuring and the harvest. Those people met Moses.
There is a voice note, when I don't know if anybody's heard it, and they're linking it now with the Passover. There's a current voice note going around, and the lady is stating that God has told her that in order for you to be saved from COVID-19 virus, right, you are supposed to buy a bottle of olive oil, take it to your pastor. Anybody heard that note yet? Take it to your pastor, get him to pray over it, and then anoint yourself with this oil. And like the angel passed over, the virus will pass over.
According to your faith, so be it. All right. So verse 41, they go to the temple. And verse 42, when he was 12 years old, in verse 41, they talks about the custom. In verse 42, and when he was 12 years old, he went to the room after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child Jesus tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it. So imagine it wouldn't probably have happened when he was 6 years old because he was kept, but at 12 years old, children tend to probably walk with the groups and what have you. So they didn't recognize that he wasn't there. And when they didn't find, when they found him not in verse, sorry, 44, but they're supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintance. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem. And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed, and his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not, or don't you know, that it must be about my Father's business? And they understood not the saying which he spake unto them. He went down with them and came to Nazareth and was subject unto them. But his mother kept all these sayings in her heart. And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God. 12-year-old child. Thankfully, he didn't have to do the 11 plus. Don't let's discuss the 11 plus. But at that time, he was, where was he? Son of God, left his parents, and he is talking to the doctors and the lawyers, and they are astonished at the wisdom of this 12-year-old boy. Was it, who was it that said, the preacher that said, he asked the doctor who he would cure a sin-sick soul. The doctor did not know, could not answer. He asked the lawyer who he would plead the soul unto heaven. The lawyer could not answer. But that's just, what the preacher made up. But whatever it was, his wisdom surpassed theirs. And it was 3 days that he was there. Yeah.
No, I just want to know. I'm ready to make question about the point I want to make. That the parents of Jesus not only kept all of the customs of the religious customs, no, they didn't only just follow it all that God had told them to do, but they took the child along with them on every single occasion, so that in the house of God or in the temple, the child was at home, if I can say that. Being in the temple was so customary to him.
Yeah, homework.
He probably had to
No, it is a serious matter because I believe that today we allow our children to get away. There comes a time when you cannot tell your children if to come or to go. That is understood. But while you have the command of the children, it is your responsibility to make sure that they attend to the house of the Lord and see it as a priority. Parents today will bribe when the children pass the 11 plus, and especially if the child goes to the school that you want to go to, you're going to be telling everybody in town, people who know you and people who know you, my child passed and so on and so on. That is important. There are a lot of other things that are important, but it is unfortunate that I say in our religion, because in the Muslim religion, in the Indian, in the Hindu religion, they make sure that their children learn. And it is mandatory that they have to be able to read the Quran, all the other Torah, whatever. They have to then make sure that their children learn it and do it. to us, everything else is important, but the house of the Lord. And this is the big mistake that we're making. I keep saying, and there's a saying that I can't repeat in church, but all the people say the worst dumb people find is the educated dumb people. If you understand what I mean. That knowledge in itself will not help a person much. Because if a child has a bad attitude, he can have a PhD and he can be going from job to job to job because he can't get along with anybody. If a child is a thief or a crook, he could be, he could go on have all the education in the world. He gone in the people place to work and he can be looking to see what he can get from it. So if we do not as people recognize the seriousness that we have, we dress up our children in a white dress and whatever and bring them to get christened, and then after that, everything goes to the door. This is not the way it should be.
That's the point I wanted.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The point I wanted to make in that Mary and Joseph ensured that Jesus attained upon all of the things that were, okay, we have customs and positions in church where you bring a child to christening, you look towards its confirmation, its joining the church or whatnot. And Joseph and Mary made sure that Jesus attained upon all of these things. They made sure that 8 days he was there as the custom was. They made sure that every Passover and probably every other festival or feast that there was at the church, that he attended upon it. So that his religious life, if I want to call it that, was paramount in his upbringing. They did not let it slide.
You see,
Nothing was his choice.
what about something else? Sorry.
Yeah.
The point I want to make, and I agree with you 100%, because Muslims, the Seventh-day Adventists, the Jehovah's Witnesses, all of these people, you will find that ensure that their children are brought up in the religion in which they are in. And in those religions, it's not a matter of giving the child a choice. We believe that our children should have a choice. So we get up on mornings and you ask a 5 and 6 and 7 and 8-year-old, do you want to go to Sunday school today? Obviously, if it's a 5 and 6, 7, I can tell you no. But then the place where I want to be. When I was growing up, my mother was not yet in church. But I had to come. You could tell my mother, tell my mother that I am not going because she was not there. I had to come because there were people, there were like Mom Barker, there was my grandmother, there were other people in church. And when you go into church, and think about it, when you go into church, you cannot misbehave. You have to follow the rules and regulations. If a senior member of the church spoke to you, you cannot speak back to them. Because if you did and you run back home, you get a whipping from the body in church, and you get one from the parent that is home. You know what our problem is? We believe, and this is a statement that they often make, and they believe it is love. I'm going to give my child the best out of life. The best education, the best home, the best clothes, the latest in branding gear, because I don't want my child to go through what I went through. That's our excuse. I have a serious problem with Christian parents who will look at me and say to me, I have a child. You have accepted Christ as the father, the mother has accepted Christ, and you have a child. You can tell me you love that child. And you loving it straight into hell. Because it is what it is, that's exactly what you're doing. And you're going to tell me that your child got a choice and they say, oh, when she ready or when he ready, he will make the decision. Jesus was 12 years old. 12. He was in the temple, but what was he in the temple doing? Huh? Misbehaving? With a cell phone in the hand? WhatsApping? Googling? What was he doing? Parents, and I'm very serious when I say this, and I make no apologies for it to anybody. Parents, God will hold accountable for the lives of their children. They're going to have to pay for it. Because no 5, no 6, no 7, no 8, no 10. You are responsible for your children. If it means you got to, what's the word I'm looking for, Brother Stephen? You got to, the Bible says the Evangelist Redmond. Not train. That's not the word I'm looking for. Enforcing.
Right. Come on.
You enforce that a child go to school. A child can't get more to mommy and in school. They don't feel the best school. I don't feel the best school for the week. Oh, no. That's the biggest crime in the world. Because you got the best education. And the most foolish people in Barbados are the educated ones. Because education without the wisdom of God ain't no education. And I make no apologies for that either.
But there was something that, remember when Moses let the children out? God told Moses, these things called monuments, I want you to build this monument, and your children ask him way, and you get to your children way, such and such. So never that was a command of God, and was tell your children what this means. So Abraham has been saying that God said that I did recommend Abraham because I know not that he's a good man, but I know that he will make sure his children after him do excellent way. Good. Hannah wasn't sure how often, so he said the best thing we do is to carry him to the temple and leave him. Because that case, you can't run, she will leave him there. But then for us now, we head into Proverbs, where God himself said, train a child in, not in a way or the way you feel, but train a child in the way. You definitely articulate, train a child in the way he should go. And today, Christians are trying to make, because I hear people preaching all the time, and everybody says, well, you know, you tell them, why don't spray, well, that's probably true, but you mean the bull. And I didn't hear that nonsense. The Christian people are the people of education, because education begins with God. So God has given us commands. So when we are in the house of God, Holy Communion every Sunday. Because children must ask, what is that? This represents X. This represents Y. And today we remember in school mob and fighting and stabbing and standing. And it happens so often that we become accustomed to the point where we actually don't do anything to stop it. And this is kind of the place where, you know, the people that forget God must suffer the consequences, and this is exactly what we are doing. We as adults, we can't even control our own self, and yet we want to tell God. And you know, you always say, parent, the last part of parent is rent. I know when you get to my house, you can't do it like when you get to my house, it's the person's house. You won't pay anybody to stay there for a while. So apparently God has given us a way, but we say that children are a heritage, whatever. It's a gift that God has given to us, but they're not ours. So therefore when God said to take the wages, go there the command, and people there are making light of God's command.
Well, they
I
have
want
to
to
agree.
comment.
They're saying they have to agree to share out 100,000%. Because I see this thing happening day after day. Glad to be tuned in with the teaching service. Because I don't know what's going on. Parents are training their children to be unmanly. They're training their children to curse. And they're training their children to, if anybody anybody tell you anything, tell them back something worse. If anybody hit you, hit them back. Right? And maybe these are things that you expect of the world. But what hurts, and this is what Sister Cheryl alluded to, if you are Christian parents, you should and you ought to, it incumbent upon you to train your children in the way that they should go, in the way of the Lord. Which also means, because I see in churches, little children passing themselves and not speaking, not saying anything. And that was a no-no when I was a little boy. You pass, you say, good morning, Mrs. Grant, or good morning, Mrs. Woman, or whatever. That was the norm. At school, you have little children, they pass between two children and say nothing, you have to hold them back. What should you do? What should you say? But what I'm saying is more hurt, people say hurtful. It's more hurtful when these things continue to happen within our churches.
But we can talk about what is happening, but what is the remedy? What is it?
I guess one of the first time when Jesus reflected his mother and father and said
He was
his father's business.
Yeah, that is the point we come into now. A 12-year-old boy telling the parents he must be about his father's business. And the father, he left the father there, no Joseph.
And he was missing for 4 days. Then they were searching him for 3 days.
When they were in Jerusalem, 7 days for the feast of the Passover. And then they couldn't find him. Went back. So, comment then on the I must be about my father's business. What is important about my father's business? You know, this is a sermon now. This is a whole sermon. I must be about my father's business. Does that apply to us or this
When
only?
you tell your father, he must be about his father's business. And today, what I see about that, I mean, if you look at that not from the point of view of who the young boy was, right? You were sitting in the room. Yes, in other words, what you looking for me for?
Yes.
What you looking for me for? You made your parents work for 3 days. You made your parents work for about 4 days or so. And then today you have to go to look at me, I don't know, 12-year-old lady, and ask me, what you looking for you for?
But what I want us to notice, what I want us to zero in on is that forget Jesus. No, I can't really, you know what I mean, you know what I mean when I say that. What I want us to do now is to each of us to start thinking, suppose I had to say I must be about my father's business. What is my father's business? What is our business that we should be about? That is, you know.
Word of God.
Hello?
The word of God.
Yeah, but I mean, the word of
Let me
God is broad.
bring an example. Let me bring an example.
Go ahead.
You go to work, you're supposed to work 5 days, 2 off days.
Yeah.
Employer decide, I got left overtime here, so you got to work Saturday. Right? Then you realize you're working diligently for the 6 days. Look at me, don't work, let me try some overtime, you know, but it's Sunday. And he come to you once and say, well, you know, you got a Charlotte here, and you got to get it out. Right? No, I can't do it. I must do what my father's business. That's my example. But what we do, right, is that we don't do that. It's something advantage say to the employer, no sir, I have to be about my father's business.
Yeah, so what will be the outcome?
Well, some people can get fired.
there's a part of the Constitution that affords us freedom of religion.
Before Brother Desmond, I want to ask you a question, Pastor Mark. What is it that Adventists, you will find that the employer will comply with the Adventists, but when it comes to the Christian, he does not?
Because Christians are a lot too loose. Look at it this way. I would have told you about this already. That we had a brother everywhere in Washington who wanted to retire, telling people he retired and he, and they had some overtime. They had some overtime sharing out. And he stayed home this Sunday and push up and carry the whole Sunday. He used to work in the road, fixing the road. And when he come back in, the man said, you know what work, I want to retire. So all the man had to do was to dangle some extra change for him to get. And he shut down church and everything and been doing it. So I'm saying that it is too, we treat a lot of things with more respect than we treat the church of God. Anything can drag us away from the church of God. But when it comes to our secular work, that is so important that I gotta leave out. I must leave out. I am saying that we have to, as individuals, start sitting down and asking ourselves the question, what really is our Father's business? How important is our Father?
Yeah, listen,
How important is our Father's business? And as I said, if it is important enough, when something is important, you drop everything and go after it. And this is what I'm talking about. When it is important enough, everything drops. Let's look at it. Let me see if I can get a way example. You go to work in the morning, and you get a telephone call. Somebody breaking your house. No matter how you think you drop work, you go. Right? Because that is important enough for me to leave work and go. So I'm saying that we have now to look and ask ourselves the question, what is important for us in our life? What is important enough that we would leave our home and go to it without blinking? And if the service of the Lord is not one of those, then it means that we are not really in line with Jesus when he said, I must be about my Father's business. The other time he said, I must work the works of him that sent me where it is. So as far as Jesus is concerned, it's always a must. I must do it. When it comes to God's business, do we use that word?
but
Go ahead.
no, I would say that in the day when we were 10 for you, I can almost be sure that every household in Barcelona had a Bible. Every household. And that was the day I was almost every time we asked you, do you have a Bible personally? No. They never got the book list, they got everything in the book list. But that's they call it Bible, the Word of God. And they don't have to understand the Word of God. There's none. So if they don't have the Word of God, they belong to somebody else's Word.
You asked the question, what is my Father's business? My Father's business, I'm broken down for me in different parts. If you are a parent, the father's business is train up the children in the way they should go. And Moses, in looking at this, told the children of Israel, when they sleep, when they sit down, teach them the word of God. That is the Father's business for a parent. Bring them up in the way of God. What is my Father's business as a wife? What is my Father's business as a husband? What is my Father's business as a child of God? It isn't like the Father's business in any aspect of your life is unknown. It is all there. But do you know it? And can you, it's like if I had a child and my business is selling bananas, and I ask my child to go about my business, and he don't even know it's a banana, I mean, where do you start? So the Father's...
Right, I just want to know something. Did Jesus say that he's different to the Father, or he and the Father is the same? Because he said that I'm in the Father and the Father is in me. And nobody can go to the Father unless they come through him. So is his Father business his business too?
Yeah, but don't forget, he is speaking as a man,
Right.
who has come down here to set an example for us. That is why he was baptized, because he was baptized not because he had any sins to remit. He was baptized as an example for us. So when he went about his Father's business, he is showing that he came here for a purpose. He knew what his purpose was, and that was the priority of his life. So even though he was fully God and fully man, whatever he did as a man was for an example to us, to show us that it can be done. All right, so I know there was a church where the man said that when Simeon had Jesus in his arms, he did not look up because there was nobody up there. Because, that was the church that we believe in Jesus only. That he was saying that heaven was empty because Jesus was there. But he probably forgot at the baptism of Jesus that somebody was in heaven saying, "This is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased." And the Holy Spirit also came and lived on him. So understanding the Trinity is not always easy. But you see Jesus as God revealed to man. And when Philip asked the question, "Show us the Father." He said, "You mean you were with me all this time and you don't know the Father?" In other words, what I have done is what the Father will do. The Father is in me and I am in the Father, So
you see yourself and the Father as together as one.
Yeah, it is like some people explain it like a family where you have Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, one family. Three persons in one. The Father is not the Son is not the Father, the Holy Ghost is not the Father, etc. But each of them is part of the Godhead and have different roles.
So he wasn't disobedient. I just the mother and father should probably recognize that.
Yeah, but you see, hindsight is 20/20 vision. If you have your 12-year-old son and you can't find him after 3 days, you're going to be catching colds, right?
Yeah, okay.
You're going to be imagining all sorts of things. So when you see it, and the thing about it is, when he asked them, and sometimes it is true that sometimes that some would know Jesus was rude. Like when he said woman, like that, when he was called upon, when the wine ran out, he said woman, what time they come here? So Mary, even though Mary was his mother, Mary was learning from him a lot. And all the things that Simeon had said and Anna said, she was pondering them in her heart. So, as I said, because we know what happened and how it was, we have good sight But think of her as, these are things that never happened yet. I mean, the fact that a virgin gave birth, that's the first thing. And then all these shepherds coming, wise men coming, Simeon coming. So there are a lot of things happening. So when he said, I must be about my father's business. The Bible said they didn't understand at the time, but these are things that they would have been turning over in their mind all the time. And by the time they came to the wedding, you see she had progressed. Because she said, look, whatever he said to you, do it. You know, whatever he said to you, do it. In other words, she had come to the point that if Jesus, and she knew enough about Jesus, that Jesus ain't put you wrong. Whatever he said unto you, do it. And maybe there's another sermon you can build from there. Whatever he said unto you, do it.
I tell you, the reason why Jesus Christ said that without faith, it is impossible to please God because our human mind cannot comprehend certain things. For instance, Jesus Christ speaking to Nicodemus in John chapter 3. Remember, I said earlier that Jesus Christ called himself the Son of Man as he is, and he's also the Son of God. He is there speaking with Nicodemus and said, no man has ascended to heaven except the Son of Man who, not was, but who is in heaven. You see, so the simple thing that's showing us that we really can't, with human mind, understanding. We can't understand light, we can't understand engines, but so many things. We can't understand where it comes from, nothing we can understand. But by faith, we have to accept that is what God said, and that is what it is.
First Timothy 3:16.
Hello?
First Timothy 3:16 will explain, give share some light about this.
First Timothy 3:16.
It explains to 22.
No, it's not read it if you got
First Timothy.
First Timothy 3:16.
3:16.
Can we have it now?
I read First John.
First Timothy.
I go ahead.
Like, and without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifested in the flesh, justified in the spirit, seen of angels, preached unto the Gentiles, believed on in the word, received up
The
unto
key
glory.
word there is not that Jesus was manifest in the flesh, it's God.
But I remember having a discussion with a Jehovah's Witness mom, and he said, you know, Jesus died, but God didn't die, and then it turned, I think it was 1 John 2:6.
First John 2:6.
Yeah, that God died, and he stumbled a bit on that. 1 John 3:16.
First John.
Can I say something?
But let's get on screen for a second. 1 John 3:16. Hereby perceive we the love of God because he laid down his life for us. And we ought to lay down our lives for the rest of God. So you can't get away from God. So basically, if you want to know, if you see God, the Father, if you see Jesus, if you see the Spirit, if you look in the Bible, God created the earth. Then John said nothing was created without Jesus. And then the Spirit of God moved on the water. Yes.
Knowledge gives us strength. Jesus said to Joseph and Mary, know ye not I was about my Father's business. Now, if a child says that to his normal father, his father, he get annoyed. But Joseph knew some things, right? Joseph knew something about Jesus. Joseph knew that Jesus was Mary's son. But Joseph also knew that he married a Mary who was a virgin. So there was a mystery in Joseph's mind as to who child was. He married to a virgin. Joseph married to a virgin. So when the child said, my father, it wasn't very strange.
You know, it's interesting though that by the time Jesus was crucified, Joseph was probably dead. And isn't it interesting? Because at the time he said, son, behold your mother. You know, but what is interesting, and this is where you can't really understand God. Jesus performed so many miracles. And his father did. Hello?
Because he served the purpose that he was there for.
And he praised Johnny Baptist
Yeah, he
too.
great
Johnny
Johnny
Baptist
Baptist.
came into the world and he let Johnny Baptist stay in prison and get his head cut off.
He served the purpose.
And then we'll go and pick up somebody from side the road and heal them and
See that's what's so amazing. See what's happening, right? You have to accept people the way you feel. And that's the key word. There are a lot of things that you cannot, when you're a little fundamentally explain. Right? There are things that Jesus would have done, like for instance, Jesus said Lazarus dead, then I know what you need this time in 4 days.
come 4 days later.
4 days. Huh? 4 days.
4 days later and still on time.
Huh? 4 days and still he calling for 4 days. You gotta say, but if because I cannot imagine how God could drown the Egyptians. Now, first of all, the Israelites walked through. They didn't just walk through, they walked through on dry ground. Now tell me, you want a sea there. And God part the water, and tell me how you walk when the sea get dry. Tell me how you can explain that.
Well, there's a small miracle when you compare to death speaking and the water happen, you know. As I said, to explain God, it was God be God, so I can't explain God.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Anybody
I want to say
sustain
that
planets and change
Mary and Joseph never had no doubts about it because they knew who he is. So then it's a doubt.
Yeah, but don't forget, even though you know something, there were still, there are all the time, every time something happened,
They're human.
they're still amazed at what is happening. But I still want us to zero back in, you know, and I said there's something that we could go home thinking about. What is my Father's business? You know, you got your own business, you got your own things to do. You got your bills to pay, you got your job to look after, you got your family, all these are good things. But I want us now to be able to go home and start thinking, how are we going to separate what is my business from what is my Father's business? And there are times that the two of them overlap. I mean, if you are working to feed your family, that is your Father's business too, because you are expected to feed your family. So it is not as though that is always a clear-cut line. But then there are times that you got to leave the home and go out to do God's work. You know, so there's an overlapping. There's an overlapping where God's business, you know, God's business, the Father's business could have something to do with how you treat your wife or how you treat your husband. You know, that is God's business. How you bring up your children, how you treat your children, all that is God's business. So, I think Evangelist Michael was making the point that the things that God tells us to do would really be our Father's business as well. But we have at times to dumb tools. The time comes when the man of faith puts down his tools and heads to the house of the Lord and said, this is my Father's business. I got to do it.
I just want to mention something which happened today. At the end of the day today, because the rest at work made a whole fuss for a big thing. Huh? So I just wanted to make mention of something which happened today. At work today, my co-workers and they made a fuss over my birthday and all that, right? When I was leaving, then 6 o'clock, I think I was a little anxious because I didn't see Renee come to pick me up so I could get down here. So one of the girls said, and mind you, there's a girl who goes to church, is active in church, right? She said, so how are you going to spend the rest of your birthday? Where are you going? I said, well, yeah, I think the Bible study. She said, going where? I said, church. She said, well, your birthday, you got to be making sport. I said, you got an alternative for me? I said, because I am. You know, or I know she's a I think she's in church and she's started in church. Right? And she was shocked to hear me saying in my birth, rather than going to dinner or going to this place and that place, that I'm going to go to study. Very commitment figure.
I want to say, I always ask this question, what is our purpose in life? I always ask that. Again, I was brought up in the Catholic Church and they always tell me, my purpose in earth is to love and serve God. I do this other something. Indeed. So I always ask this question, what is our purpose here in life?
You see,
They said the duty of man is to serve the Lord. It was said in Revelations and
can't hear you.
like in one of the purpose of life, but it's said in the Bible that our duty is to serve the Lord. Right? That's our duty.
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
I totally agree. But just making the statement of just saying serve God, right? As true as it is big. The thing is, in what we know, for example, Jesus exposed the corruption of the youth. Jesus overturned the political system of the religious system. Right? I find that a lot of people, a lot of Christians, have this attitude, well, let me go into church and pray. But when you have to make a decision, when somebody's saying something is anti-Christ, whatever, then our mouths are completely closed. But sometimes all we say, oh, let's just go to church and pray. No, praying is extremely important. But whenever Jesus was confronted with a situation, he opened his mouth and he spoke out. He spoke out against it. And I'm saying that we as Christians must do the same. Sometimes we sit in, and I blame myself for it. I have to make a difference. You sit in a minibus, speaking generally, I realized that nobody was asked. I know it was going on from the late 80s or the mid 80s. But it has gone progressively worse. That in some of these minibuses and ZRs, right? That some of them, a few of them, that there are some, what we call music for lack of a better word, where the F words are being heard, the P words are being heard, right? And I'm saying, I think it is wrong for people like myself or work with to sit in that bus, and this is going on, and we say nothing. You know, I include myself, but it has become such a, you know what I mean? And I'm saying, we become scared to be some man and saying that I want nobody curse me and I want nobody curse. You know, now, should we really behave like this?
But you see, look, when we examine the question, and we sit down and we start to study what is my Father's business, each of us has to come up with, you know, each of us we live in different, we live in the same island, but our lives are channeled in different ways. And we have to ask ourselves the question, how much of, can I say my time? It seems strange to be asked the question, how much of my time we can give God? Because some might say my time there and they have and some.
This is my very last point. This is responding over here. If John the Baptist had kept his mouth shut and stayed up to people's business,
You're still going ahead.
he would not have been about his Father's business, he would not have lost his name.
There are, I came across, I can't remember the exact quote, but it's something that the church today has to look at. It says this generation will have to repent for the lot of, for the lot of things that we sat back and allowed to happen. And the second thing is we have to repent for keeping our mouths shut. Because there is so much. And I only mention one thing that really should appall us. Where we have 6, 7, and 8-year-old girls coming home from school and saying that I am in the wrong gender. And then doctors will take that young child. And in some countries, the mothers and the fathers don't have an opinion. The child have their counselors at school. And the counselor says, if you feel like a boy, you must be a boy. And they will take that girl against the wishes of the parents and go and operate on that girl and cut off her breast. And then take samples from Medaware to try to create a penis and to try to change that girl into a boy. And that I'm talking about children that are probably barely in the teens and the parents can't do anything about it. But the world, the Christian world, and America has so many mega churches. The churches are extremely silent on these things. And these things are really an insult to God. God is saying, I made you, I fashioned you. And you are saying, I don't like how I am. And like I said, doctors are taking. See, when we see these things happening to other people, we stay back and say, oh, that's over there. But a lot of people said it is over there until it started to come their way. And they watched it happen. And now you have, in this time, you have children. I think I came across one child that is suing me. He said as a teenager, he should not have been able to make that decision because children go through all sorts of feelings. Children go through all sorts of feelings and changes. I finish off. All sorts of changes and their life. You will see little boys one time in the high heel shoes walking about and playing the fool. But quickly they go to that. But now that happens, they say you trapped in the body and they're taking children and mutilating them. Mutilating perfectly healthy children. And now the children is saying, at that time you should have known better than to allow me to do that. But now it is too late.
Trying to get you.
But you can't, they've already packed them with hormones. The voice will never come back to be a woman's voice. You will never get a child in this life. All these things, we stand back and watch it. And say, let the Lord deal with that.
I had a browning on stage this morning around 8 o'clock with some school children.
Yes, Sutherland police station.
Yes.
Are we going to remain silent all the time? When you had a last point to make?
I would say that some people say
you want to. But when you cut off the part, you get the back.
I'll wait for them again.
So the doctor will take $20,000 for the first operation and $20,000. The doctors are becoming the biggest criminals in the world. When we're growing, we should talk about lawyers, but the doctors don't have any soul. Anyhow, don't even get to it. So, thank you for coming. And remember the question I asked you to go home and think about. What is my Father's business? Jesus said I must be about my Father's business. And we have to sit down and ask ourselves the question, what is our Father's business? Thank you, Heavenly Father, for tonight. Thank you for the joys of studying your word. I pray, Father, that even as we study, that you will continue to enlighten us and to show us the way. Father, I pray that you will take us now to our homes in peace and safety and bring us back, Lord, when we come back in your Holy Spirit. For those who could not be here because of illness or other circumstances, we pray your blessing upon them. As we go, be with us, we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. May the grace of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the love of God, the sweet fellowship and company of the Holy Spirit, rest and abide with us now and forever. Good night. Thank you.
Yeah, because she just gone away. She found her stand up. All right. Yeah.